Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! Set the Wayback Machine to the year 2000. I'm living in a crappy apartment over a storefront, so parking was limited. Now this was the middle of the winter and I didn't have a car at that period in time, but my girlfriend at the time did. She was coming over in a couple hours, and finding parking on the streets is a gamble. So I wanted to dig out the parking spot for her out of the snowbank in the alley behind my building. I didn't own a snow shovel, so using a hammer and an old plastic ice cream bucket in my bare hands, I dug out a chunk about 3 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters to make room for her to park. I don't know if you can appreciate how much snow that is, but it was a lot of work, especially considering my lack of proper equipment. This isn't fresh fallen snow either, this is a snowbank packed by a plow. Practically ice. But whatever, we do crazy things for love, right? But apparently I had too much faith in humanity. I thought the cardboard sign I left in a newly cleared parking spot that said, "I spent an hour and a half digging this out for someone specific, please do not park here," would be enough. But nope, wouldn't be writing this if it had been. Naturally, some jerk of a Lexus owner threw the sign in a dumpster and stole the spot. I hadn't told my girlfriend about my plan to dig out the parking spot, mostly because I didn't want to look like a wuss if it was too much work, and I gave up. So I just stood on it, imagining all things I could do. My girlfriend ended up finding a spot on the street a block away, and we had a good evening anyway. She had to work the next day, so she took off around 2 a.m. I stayed up until maybe around 4 a.m. The car was still there, and I was still pissed. By this time, all bars were closed. The neighbors were asleep, and the streets were quiet. Couldn't ask for a better opportunity to ruin someone's crap. I went outside with a bottle of anhydrous ispropanol. I kept it around as a solvent, doused the car's tires, and set them on fire. I nabbed the cardboard sign from the dumpster and used it to quickly scrape the snow and cover my tracks. Then took it back inside with me. No point leaving evidence behind. Over the course of the next few minutes, I heard bang, kapow, blam, boom, as the tires burst one by one. I had honestly expected the whole car to go up in flames, but each burst was apparently forceful enough to put out each individual tire, as well as blast out of a sizable divot in the snowpack. Nothing happened until the next day, but the police were eventually called. They were knocking on doors asking if anyone saw something, but nope. Sorry, must have slipped right through it. Good luck, officer. Hope you catch the guy. I turned on my police scanner to keep tabs on things, mostly out of fear of getting caught. But there were no witnesses, and I learned the owner only had liability insurance. What kind of idiot buys a Lexus but no full coverage? I would soon find out. When I went outside to survey my handiwork under the guise of taking out the trash and being the curious resident, oh man, yeah, that guy was going to need to get his whole car resprayed. The car looked fine structurally, but I did probably more than $2,000 worth of cosmetic damage, not to mention needing 4 new tires. I also got a look at the guy who owned the car, and the image I had created in my head of what a person would look like that would so unapologetically steal someone's hard work was completely accurate. He was a grade A first-class board-certified textbook douchebag. Orange fake tan, way too much hair product, leather pants, weapons-grade douchery, a decade before Jersey Shore was a thing. I regret nothing. Never saw that car again. Got away scot-free. Edit. And as expected with every story, you get the legions of people trying to poke holes in it, saying things like, alcohol doesn't burn hot enough, yada yada yada. Well, guess what? Apparently it does, because we had a Lexus with 4 popped tires. Not sure if the tires actually caught fire, or if the heat of the flame just caused the pressure to go up to the point that the tires burst. All I know is I lit 4 tires on fire with 100% isopropyl alcohol and 4 tires popped. If someone wants to do the math and figure it out, fine. Edit 2. To address some further comments, it was indeed a small bottle of isopropanol, no larger than 1 liter. It wasn't like I made sure to thoroughly saturate the tires. I was aiming to get in and out without getting caught. It was like plop plop, move on to the next, plop plop, move on to the next, and so on. I smoked at the time, so I either lit the fires with cardboard matches or a simple cheap butane lighter. I don't remember which, but those were my main cigarette lighting tools, so it would have been one of those. I probably went with a butane lighter, but again, that's a detail I simply don't recall specifically. Again, I seriously thought the tires would catch fire and the whole car would end up torched. But for whatever reason, the 4 tires popped, and that plus some smoke damage and bubbled paint was the extent of it. Hello everyone, today my eyes don't hurt that much and the baby is sleeping peacefully. So time to write another story that happened when I was working in Japan. As mentioned in another post, I was a property manager managing a set of hostels and guest houses. This happened during the high season called the Golden Week. Prices are getting ridiculously expensive, even in guest houses and hostels. Our normal rates are about 1,000 yen for one night during the normal season, $10 on weekdays. Weekends can be more expensive, 3,000 yen or 30 USD. These prices are for one single bed in a bunk bedroom, which means you would share the room with many other people and also share accommodation such as showers and toilets. People who are used to hostels know what I mean. I was training one new receptionist, a lovely young girl from Michigan, absolutely amazing and friendly. Perfect fit for the job. Fast learner, friendly, positive, and I told her that she was ready for her first shift alone. But if she needs me, she can send me a text anytime and I'll get straight to the reception. Don't forget, as mentioned in my other post, we have cameras in the lobby, recording all the time to protect my staff from furious guests. Later, her first guest arrived. One man in his early 30s looked friendly at first. They spoke a bit and yeah, fun fact, he was also from Michigan and blah blah blah. Few minutes later, I received a simple message. Help. I go to the front and the guy looked so mad and yeah, he wanted to talk to a manager. I introduced myself and asked what problem we were facing. Your staff showed me my room and it seemed that it's just a bed. And other people were inside too. Yes, this is a dorm. Did you book a private room? I'm not sharing my space with people who potentially have diseases or are snoring. And your staff, pointing at my poor receptionist who is totally confused, told me that I had one bed in this massive room. I want a private room. Let me check your reservation, sir. I got onto the computer and checked his reservation. Sir, it seems like you have booked a bed in a 10 people's dormitory room. Therefore, there is nothing we can change about it. Okay then, I want an upgrade. Get me a private room. I would love to, sir, but unfortunately we are full for tonight. Okay then, I want a refund. There is no way I'm going to stay here. I'm looking for another place. Up to you, sir, but unfortunately I cannot refund you. You made a reservation on X travel agency, and this travel agency has its own canceling policy. In your case, you have to cancel 2 weeks prior to your arrival to be eligible for a full refund. That is nonsense, and I never wanted to book a bed in a dormitory. Who does that? Are you crazy? Sir, calm down please. We just received your reservation the way you made it. Plus, it's a very good deal. You made the reservation more than 6 months in advance when our price was the lowest possible. I don't care. Give me a refund. Sir, you have paid online. The only people who may be able to refund you is the booking service you have used to make a reservation, not us. You guys are just trying to screw me over. I demand to speak to a manager. Sir, like I said, I am the manager. I really apologize for the trouble you are going into, but I cannot refund you, and I will personally advise you to stay. It's a nice place, and you'll meet nice people here to hang out with. I don't care about people. I want my privacy. Before moving on, I'll give you a small explanation about travel agencies. There are many of them. Booking.com, Expedia, Hostel World, and so on. And all of them have different cancellation policies. In that entitled customer case, he had to cancel 2 weeks prior to his arrival to get refunded. One exception is he could be refunded if he could prove he could not get at our place for exceptional circumstances like he missed his flight or whatever. Sir, why did you book a bedroom in a dorm if you didn't want it, if I may ask you? I didn't know. I just booked the cheapest place I have found on the internet. So you have booked a place and even did not read what you have booked? Correct. And you want us to refund you for a mistake that you have made? I did not make a mistake. I just didn't know what I had booked. So please, can I get a refund? 1 minute, sir. In that kind of situation, we want to avoid people cursing or yelling, so what we do is we call the travel agency customer service and provide all the information from our point and from the travel agency's point of view and calmly explain to the guest that indeed he cannot be refunded for X reason and our establishment is not responsible for the problem, unfortunately. On speaker, how can I help you? The travel agency representative asked. Hi, I have a guest, the booking number is XX, and a customer wants to get a refund for his reservation. Alright, what is the reason? The guest made a mistake and did not know what he booked. Understand. Wait, what? You heard me. The guest clearly made a reservation for a bed in a 10-person bedroom and did not expect to have to share the space with other people. That's not it. I just booked the cheapest place I have found. I did not expect it to be a dorm. The customer corrected me. Sir, you have made the booking on our side, right? Yes. And you did receive a confirmation email, right? Yes. Did you read that email? No need to. All these emails are the same anyway. Sir, we are sending those emails also to make sure that you know what you have booked for. If you did not read your reservation, the establishment cannot be responsible for that mistake, and unfortunately the refund cannot be processed. That's nonsense. Anyway, I want to cancel it. This place sucks. I am not staying here anyway. Sir, really, I don't want to sound rude, but I would strongly advise you to not to cancel. Prices are crazy right now. The single bed you have on your reservation costs you only 1,000 yen plus tax. The price at the moment is about 12,000 yen per night for one bed in dorm rooms in most hostels. That's like $120. Nonsense. You just want to take my money away. Please, sir, try not to swear. We all remain polite so far. I want to cancel this reservation right now. I go back to the travel agency representative and said, you heard it. Guest called X with a reservation number X wants to cancel. I will therefore cancel the reservation according to the guest wish. Confirmed. Guest called X with a reservation number X will have his reservation cancelled. Have a good day. The customer grumbled and then swore before leaving. I'll get my money back one way or another. Your place sucks anyway. Service is terrible. I exchanged some eye contact with the poor receptionist as the guest stormed away. Don't worry, not all guests are like that. I said, don't worry, not everyone in Michigan is like that. She replied. We laughed and got back to business. Epilogue. It was now 7:30 p.m. raining so much and guess who came back? Sorry for what I did earlier, I got a bit carried away. Could I still have my bed? The entitled customer asked. Sorry sir, as you requested, your reservation has been cancelled. And someone already made a reservation. We are totally full. But where am I supposed to sleep? Everything is either too expensive or fully booked. In Japan, you can sit in some places such as McDonald's and internet cafes, but you need to order food. And of course, these places cannot be held responsible for your belongings. I wanted to be fair and gave a few addresses to him for hotels that may have availability. We sold a bed which was basically 1,000 yen for 15,000 yen. He sent some email to the travel agency stating that he never came to our place nor to Japan. The travel agency emailed us back, and I simply sent the footage about the conversation we had during the afternoon. If you think that 15,000 yen is expensive for only one bed in a dormitory, I'll let you guess how much it will cost even in a 3-star hotel. Enjoy your stay in Japan. I, 30, think obsessions are normal. And my girlfriend, 35, has one. Kate's obsession has to do with the 60s. Kate is a nerdy and intelligent person. She has a PhD and works as a college professor. Whenever she's not working, she's always researching about the 60s and knows a lot about that period. My own mother was born in the 60s and even Kate knows more than her. Personally, her obsession is cute. Whenever she talks about the 60s, I've noticed she's always happy and she smiles. And it just makes me happy that she's happy. This year, after being in a relationship for 3 years, Kate and I decided to move in together. We've decided that we're having a Christmas party. This is where I may be the jerk. Back in November, I got in touch with a friend whom I hadn't seen for ages due to our schedules constantly clashing. And we finally had a date where we could both meet up for some coffee. During our meeting up, we were asking about each other's family and he asked how Kate was. I explained Kate was doing well and she was promoted at work, and to celebrate I'm taking Kate and her friends on a surprise night out to celebrate her promotion is I'm proud of her. He kept talking back and forth about each other's partner, and I mentioned Kate is working on a new project at work and it involves 2 other colleges collaborating, so she's really pleased with that. I also stated Kate is doing a research project about the 60s in her own time, so she's really busy. This friend of mine was already invited to our Christmas party well in advance, and most of the comments he made were nasty and will probably get me banned, so the nicer comments he made included, "She's such as a weirdo. I'm personally surprised she's even in a relationship considering the fact she's a nerd. Her obsession is so weird it's amazing she still has friends." I don't know why he made these comments, but he said these once we finished speaking about our partners. I got angry and left. He had to pay the bill. A few hours later, I calmed down and informed Kate I am uninviting a friend of ours to the Christmas party. She asked why and I explained. She said she isn't bothered about what he said and he can still come, but I remained adamant that he is not coming to the Christmas party at all. I sent him a message on Messenger explaining that I have uninvited him to our Christmas party because of the rude comments he made to my girlfriend. We got into a heated exchange, then I didn't hear from him for a day. I found out he messaged some mutual friends and they think I overreacted. So am I the jerk? And now with some comments on the post. Someone saying you're not the jerk. It was not just one rude comment which could have maybe been a slip of the tongue. There were many, and they were mean and severe. Why would you want to spend time with someone who views your partner that way? It's too much for Kate to let it slide, but I'd stand my ground. Another commenter adds, "Not the jerk. And Kate sounds awesome. I was born in 75 and have been obsessed with 60s culture since I was a kid. In my early 20s, a friend's mom mentioned to me that she would be glad when a friend and I grew out of our hippie phase. And my mom told her I have been like that since I was a little kid and she didn't think it was a phrase." A third commenter goes with, "Not the jerk. I don't understand how anyone could insult a person and then expect to attend the party in that person's home. This friend can think Kate's interests are weird all he wants, but it's true to say it. He needs to learn to just let people enjoy things."
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.